Hello everybody, welcome back to another lesson. So this video is going to be primarily on how to connect a database to a Wix website. So what I have here in front of me is a Wix template for a record label. And so what I'd like to do is use Wix's database to basically pull in images of my favorite albums and music. And they also have this artist page, which you can click on, and it'll just have the name of all the artists. So I'm going to have both of these connect to the database, and I'm also going to add a little bit of filtering so that we can filter our albums by genre. Now, I did a project like this kind of similar in the past where I used another Wix template and I created a website for my top 100 movies. And so you can see them here. And then what I did is I was able to filter them by genre. So I like sci-fi movies a lot. And so if you click sci-fi, it pulls just the sci-fi movies from the database. So the cool thing about databases is you can run all sorts of filtering and you can really update things easily and keep everything organized versus if I were manually having all these on every page, it would be a lot more cumbersome. So setting up a database does take a little more time in the front end, but it makes things much easier in the long term. You can also see I set it up by decades and by the rating. And all four of these pages are pulling from the same single database. They're just filtering it based on the different information. So to get started on our new music website, you're just going to go to wix.com, go to your menu, and your dashboard might look a little different than mine, but find the Create New Site button somewhere, and it's going to give you the option of Wix or Editor X, which is still in beta, which means it's a little buggy. So we're just going to go with Wix. And when they ask us what kind of website we want, we're going to click Music, and it's when we got to choose between ADI and the editor, we're going to choose editor this time. And you can see here it is. There's the template. The reason I like this one is it has a grid of albums. A lot of these others don't have that. A lot of these others are just featuring a single artist. So I'm going to click edit. All right, so here we are. So what I want to do is just start by, closing out this pop-up. I want to do a little bit of customization to my site first. First, I want to hide all these menu items and all this stuff because it's getting in my way. So the way you can do that is there's this little blue tab at the very top. Just click that and it says Hide Contents. Okay, so I'm going to make this say something like Early Records. And then instead of this and then Releases, I'm going to say Top Albums, which is a little too big. So I'm going to, right now the size is 200. I'm going to make that like 150. There we go. But what that did is it kind of pushed everything down. So I'm going to drag it up. So you can have yours say whatever you want. Mine's just going to say top albums. They have this Let's Chat feature. I don't want that, so I'm just clicking on it and deleting it. I'm going to delete all this social media stuff. And so how do we get this plugged into a database? Well, let me just show you how this works first. So this is set up as a gallery, and it's set to full width. I'm going to turn that off and then turn it back on again. There we go. Looked like it was glitching a bit. Okay, so if we were to manage media, right now this is an individual gallery that basically has a bunch of images in it. And each image, if I click on one, has the actual image itself, and then it has a title, and then a description, and then a link. And in this case, they have an individual page for each artist. Since I'm not going to go through all the trouble of creating all these pages, I'm just going to have mine link to the Genius website. And I'm going to have it link to the artist or to the album itself. So in my case, I'm going to have it linked to the Kelly Lee Owens album. So I'm going to go back And you see they've created this for every single one of these. All right, but right now this isn't connected to a database. This is just self-contained. So what we're going to do is have this connect to a database.